Hey yon YouTube watchers, and welcome to the channel. So once again, I'm starting on another HQ. This one's had quite a bit of fabrication work done to it and whatnot, and now it is time to get the bodywork up to the same standard. So at this stage I will only be doing metal work, but that may change in the future depending on my schedule. But anyway, on with the repair job. So this quarter panel was really out of shape. Someone had hit it with a ball peen hammer trying to get some tension back into it, which is obviously not the right thing to do, but you know, someone was trying to do that the best they could with what they had, and you know, now it's my turn. So what I started off with doing is I shrunk a lot of the highs down because a lot of the panel was still high, and you know, what it needed was shrinking and not, you know, hammering. So I did that, and then I brought up some of the lows, which is what I'm doing now. So using a combination of my little dent puller and also a slapper and dolly. So as you can see, still needs a bit more work. There's still quite a few lows, and you know, you can really see where those hammer marks are still, but it's getting there. The general shape is there. So I laid out my paper templates, which I'd used on the previous HQ, and now I'm basically just trying to shrink out some of those highs, get that reverse curve into the panel. One of the things that the owner of this car did request is he wants those to be, you know, he wants them to stand out. He doesn't want flat quarter panels or flat doors, whatever. You know, he wants that reverse curve to stand out. Now, the way I'm achieving that is I've laid out my template from the previous HQ, obviously marked it on my low side of the reverse curve area, and I'm basically just shrinking the top half of that quarter panel, just so I can, you know, really make that that lower section kind of pop out a little bit. Not pop out like it's oil canning, but you know, just so that you can really see the difference between the top. You know, you have that slight transition, and then it kind of bulges out, you know, around near the body line. So this quarter panel, I think someone's had a good go at it with a 36 grit flat disc, and then they've also filed the bejesus out of it. So I'm not going to go for like a full metal finish. I'm just trying to get it a little bit more true to its shape, and you know, just basically try and make it so you don't need to load it up with filler. It should only need, you know, a skim and a bit to, you know, really perfect it. So I didn't really use a whole lot of tools on this one. I mainly just used my dent puller, hammer and dolly, slapper and dolly, and my shrinking disc. And you'll see coming up shortly, the end result, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. For something that was so heavily, you know, damaged, not only from the accident, but also from, you know, the previous people trying to fix this one. But yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I think it come up pretty good. Not 100% perfect, but shitload better than what it was. Really, it shouldn't take a whole lot of filler to fix that one up at all. So another fun little job on this car is I have to replace the dog legs and the wheel arch sections. This car had previously had rolled guards, and then they had been unrolled when it was time to have the car tubbed. And yeah, basically they didn't hold up too well. There was a lot of cracking and tearing, and you know, holes and, you know, whatnot. But you know, it is what it is. Nothing I can't sort out. So yeah, off with the dog legs first. And I used the Resto section on these ones. They're not usually too bad to fit. They need a little bit of modifying, but yeah, I made them work at the end of the day. So I've still left a bit of meat on the body. I haven't cut it to the full length of the replacement dog leg, and that's basically just so I can overlap it and, you know, fine tune what I need to fine tune. So there it is. There's the fitment. It's pretty crap, but you know, run it through the shrinker stretcher, and you know, all the problems sort of go away after that. So there's always a few additional repairs when it comes time to fitting patch panels. You know, it always pays to give the seals a bit of a blowout, especially because these ones are in pretty good condition. Bit of rust converter and stuff, and you know, a little patch in the corner there, and then it's time to start fitting the dog leg. So basically I just tacked it where it fit best, and then I hammered and dollied that join just so I can kind of match up the dog leg and the inside of the door jamb a little bit better. As you can see, after a bit of work, it didn't fit up too bad. Some of my cuts weren't the best, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be MIG welding it on, so yeah, doesn't really matter a whole lot as long as it's reasonably pretty close. So unfortunately, I didn't get a whole lot of footage of making this wheel arch section just because I was focusing on the job. I didn't have really time to set up the cameras and whatnot. But yeah, that's the section that I made up. Obviously that started off from the type template, transferred to steel, English wheeled it a little bit. Well, no, actually I started folding in the wheel arch lip first, and then I English wheeled it a little bit. And yeah, that's sort of what I come up with. Obviously a bit of hammer and dolly work, a little bit of shrinking on the disc. I find that it's really good for just like ironing out a few ripples. But yeah, it came up all right, and then it was time to work on the lower quarter section, which basically did the same thing with. That wasn't an overly complicated piece, but yeah. So after I got everything in, I ground all my tacks down, hammered and dollied it, basically fine-tuned everything. It wasn't 100% as I had done it off the car, but once it was on the car, I was able to, not have to chase it around the workshop, and because it was in a stationary spot, it was tacked onto the body. So it's really not always the best idea to, finish your patch making on the car, but sometimes for me, I find it a little bit easier because, like I said, you don't have to chase it around the workshop. It's stationary, it's on the car, just what I find it to be a little bit easier sometimes. Another fun little job I'm doing on this car is I'm getting rid of all of the lead joins. So I'm obviously torching all the lead out, and then I will clean up the join, weld it up, and then I actually ran a plate through the low spot of the join because I didn't want to remove the top skin. I kind of wanted to just, maintain that factory join just a little bit stronger, and make it not take as much filler as what it would have if I was just to fill the join. So a little tip for cleaning up these joins is I'll actually just run a 1/8 drill bit just through the join. I find that really gets into where any lead might be sitting, and yeah, I find that just makes it a little bit more bearable to weld. Now you might also notice that there is also a rust repair in the top of that rear windscreen that previously that had just been filled, so I fabricated a patch and yeah, come up alright in the end. So with the passenger side of the quarter panel basically ready to weld out, I thought I would then start on the driver's side because I hadn't really focused on this side a whole lot. I wasn't quite sure what was underneath that epoxy primer, so putting on some paint stripper seems to be the quickest way for this sort of stuff, and it doesn't fill out my shed with dust. And basically I also started stripping the lower quarter on this side and the passenger side back door. Now it's actually kind of funny because this epoxy primer on the outside of this car is the HB body epoxy primer. Now there was a few spots on the door, because the doors were blasted, they were putting Epitech with then the HB body epoxy primer over the top of them, and obviously sandwiching some filler. Now the HB body epoxy primer basically peeled off like it was super penetrable with the paint stripper, and the Epitech primer was like, you could put paint stripper on it and it wouldn't even want to strip. So yeah, I think it kind of tells you the quality between the two, which I thought was pretty funny. So on with a bit of a phosphate coating on this one. That's just the finish that the dioxidine leaves. I find in the middle of winter especially, because of the moisture in the air, if you can get something on your steel, it'll stop it from flash rusting a whole lot quicker than not having it. Now this dogleg on this side, it was pretty hairy looking on the inside, so I ended up taking off the part that goes on the inside of the door jamb and found a bit more rust as well to fix up. So sorted that one out. Well, obviously I made up a little bit of a brace just to sort of hold the quarter panel from dropping, and yeah, sorted that one out, and then patched up the piece that I cut off, and then refit that all up. And yeah, it was pretty intrusive of repair, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, I guess. So there's a bit of a look at the little section that I made up. Nothing too complicated, but it fit up pretty well. Yeah, pretty happy with that one. Obviously, yep, excessive weld-through primer. I'm gonna clean a lot of that off. Like I say, you only use it on the overlap joints, but you know, it was just spray it in there, and you know, I'll clean it up later. I'll put something else in there. Now, another little thing after rectifying this car is, and you know, people who play around with the HQ to WB series will know about this one, but a lot of the time the seal panels aren't actually straight, they have a bit of curves in them. So I ran the disc across, you know, the bit that sits inside the door jamb, and I didn't really even need to play around with the whole load. It actually kind of sprung back into shape. It only needed a little bit of manipulating to get back to straight. So yeah, that made the door fitment and the dogleg fitment a lot better on this side, just by a couple minutes of work. So I was pretty happy with that. It was pretty painless. Yeah, very happy with this one. So I tacked him up, and then it was time to get back to fitting the dogleg, which needed quite a lot of manipulating on this side. This side actually fit like complete crap in comparison to the passenger side. The passenger side, you know, it took a little bit of work to get it to fit up, you know, with the door a bit nicer than, you know, straight out the box. But this side took some substantial work. It just, did not want to play ball. So yeah, to get it fitting as good as what I did, I was pretty happy with it. Obviously I will need to do the gaps on this car. You know, they'll all need to be matched up. But yeah, this side was just, it was an animal. So on with a little quarter panel patch on this side. I generally don't like doing patches on lower quarter panels. I always find if you need to do a vertical join on a horizontal panel, it usually turns out pretty shit. But yeah, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. There's no point cutting off, you know, 3/4 of a quarter panel just to fix, you know, something that's reasonably pretty small. So yeah, I ended up wheeling up a little bit of a patch, a bit of a fold in it. I did end up folding it up underneath the quarter panel on the inside, just for a bit more of a cleaner repair. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. As you can see, the previous patchwork was pretty interesting to say the least. I quite like the addition of the screw welded onto the back of the patch panel. It's always an interesting, you know, almost like an archaeology dig, some of these rough repairs. So yeah, but it is what it is, doesn't matter. It all gets chopped out and fixed up, so that's what I'm here for. Now this patch panel, I screwed up on that bottom edge. My pan brake is about 100 metres away from the shed, so walking backwards and forth kind of gets a little bit tiresome, and I got a little bit lazy and actually, I can't remember if I overfolded or underfolded it, but it wasn't quite right to the rest of the quarter panel, so I ended up having to chop that bottom edge off, and I ended up welding another section in. But yeah, I sorted it out in the end. It come up all right. Like I said, I don't always like welding, you know, a vertical joint on a horizontal panel, but yeah, got there in the end with it. So with the dogleg and the lower quarter panel section all tacked in, I was then able to focus my attention on the wheel arch lip. So basically, I ended up just being able to fold up a little bit of a 90-degree bend, run it through the shrinker stretcher, and yeah, basically just shaped it over the existing wheel arch, thankfully. This side wasn't too bad, it was just basically that bottom lip, but yeah, obviously I don't like welding right on an edge. So yeah, that was the reason why I put the little 90-degree bend in it, so I could kind of weld it up on the outside of the quarter panel. And yeah, it come up all right in the end. Now there's a few little spots that I'm not quite happy with, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, doesn't need to be 100% perfect. At the end of the day, like, it's going to have some filler in it, like all the repairs that I do. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It shouldn't take a whole lot of work to make pretty. So yeah, I think it come up pretty good in the end. So after some major reconstruction of the wheel arch lips, it was then time to fit up the big wheels. Basically just checking for clearances, that kind of thing. The wheel arch lip is about 20 mil wide from memory. So yeah, I cut it all back, made it all even. A lot of these cars that you see with the rear clip, they'll actually have rolled wheel arches, but the owner wants the unrolled wheel arch. I suppose he probably just prefers that look. But yeah, I think the dogleg will need a little bit of notching just to pass engineering, but yeah, I'm not really too sure at the moment, because I mean, I don't know how much the tyre will grow. That's more the engineering guy who will do that kind of stuff. Not that I'm incapable of notching the dogleg, but yeah, that's not really my thing. But yeah, as you can see, the dogleg and the wheel arch section on this side all welded up pretty nice, and then it's time to start welding out the passenger side. So something that I try and drum into people's heads is it's not always the distortion that is the problem. A lot of the time it's the panel fitment. So if you can get your join really nice, I usually like to have, you know, it pretty tight for MIG welding. And you know, just make sure everything's flush, and you know, try and make it as seamless as possible before you actually weld it. It'll just make the welding process a lot more you know, easier to deal with. And also when it comes time to panel beat the welding distortion out of the panel, yeah, it'll just help you tenfold for that kind of thing. So as far as taking the weld down, I actually used a combination of the flat disc, the roll lock, and also I actually a 1mm cutting disc on a die grinder. I find that's really good for just knocking the weld down flat without touching any of the parent metal. And as you can see, straight off the welder, straight off the flat disc, or whatever you want to say, not a lot of distortion in the panel, and a lot of that comes down to the fitment of the patch. And you know, obviously not sinking a lot of heat into it, but yeah, basically just, yeah, if you can get your fitment right, it'll weld out a lot nicer, and yeah, it'll be less trouble. Obviously there is going to be some panel beating after you weld it. There's always going to be some distortion, but it'll just be easy to deal with if you can get your panel fitment right. And yeah, that's my little tech tip, I suppose. So as you can see, after a little bit of panel beating work, it shouldn't need a whole lot of filler. There is a little spot where the two panels are joined around the wheel arch where it was just a little bit low, but I ended up fixing that up, basically to split it, brought it out, re-welded it, and that made it fit up a lot better. But yeah, I was pretty happy with everything. It all welded out pretty well. Yeah, what else is there to say? Yeah, it's just a bit of a look over some of the repairs done, or modifications, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it all. So that's that little wheel arch rectification that I was telling you about. Just need a little bit of a split, move it out just a little bit, just to sort of correct the shape. Held a copper plate in behind so my weld doesn't fall through, and just migged it up. So yeah, come up alright. And it was time to straighten out some of those dents in the quarter panel, a little bit of shrinking, that kind of stuff. And yeah, then that was basically the back half of the car done for now. And it was time to jump on with the doors, which will be in the next episode, but I just thought I'd chuck this in there just to sort of give you guys a bit of a sneak peek. There is going to be an absolute ton of work in those doors, but you know, nothing that I can't handle. As you can see, it's got some pretty crazy bog in there, so we'll get that one sorted out, and yeah, that'll be next episode, like I said. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with this build, and also hit the like button if you haven't already. It helps with the algorithm, helps more people see my content, which, you know, helps me out, and you know, helps me make this kind of stuff for you guys to watch. And yeah, we will see you in the next one, I suppose, which, yeah, it's going to be another quite a long video. Hopefully not too long away for you guys to watch, but yeah, there will be quite a bit of content, quite a bit of metal shaping, panel beating, and you know, welding and whatnot. Same sort of stuff as this video, and yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys and girls. It's been my pleasure making this video, and I will see you in the next one, which will be some more interesting content for you guys. So yeah, farewell, and stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye.